Hey guys, Magma here, and today we're back with another brand new video. And today we're back talking about DC Dark Knight's Metal Nightmare Batman event. And we might be doing more, Dark Knight's Metal in the future after I've done with the Origins. But here we're going to be talking about part 4 of this series, Batman the Drowned, which is, not only is it a Batman version of Aquaman, which is a twist, it's also a female version of Batman Aquaman. Whoa, that's two twists. Usually you have to say, this is a Batman version of Green Lantern, Batman version of Flash. No, this is a woman Batman version, and also a woman Batman version of Aquaman. Wow, that is just mind-blowing, all that in the cover, like, jeez. But on a serious note, I really do like the design of this Batman the Drowned. I really love it because it's got this, like, dirty ocean monster look, like Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, just like, it's like, I can't remember, it's been a while since I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, it's like, kind of like that new Captain Salazar look. I think that's the villain of the new one. Or those people, like those sea monster people in the background in like the second or third Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Davy Jones. It's just like that kind of look, and I really like it. It looks really nice, and really intimidating, and it really freshens up the look, because not only is it just, a woman being in there, which makes it like, oh look, we got quite, a range of, characters here in this Nightmare Batman thing, but it's also got this like really unique like Pirates of the Caribbean design, which I really love. But that's enough talking about the cover here. It's saying, it's a basic cover, which is very nice because, it's just like, yeah, this is all you need to know, read it now. So here we go, we're going to be talking about how it starts out. So how it starts out is, we have this basic narration. I'm not going to go over it, I'm just going to like pretty much summarize it, not read it all out, because we know the basic details here. So what's happening is she sees this light, and pretty much Batman who laughs, recruits her. We already know that. It says, okay, take over this place. She's, in the dark multiverse. Oh, those worlds were not meant to live. Oh, they got all destroyed. It's that same backstory, and now she's mad, and she's taking out all her revenge and her fury to conquer this world, turn it into the darkness, put it into the dark, really take over this world and live here, because this world's meant to be destined to live forever. So that's what she's doing. She's here in Amnesty Bay in Earth Zero, so we actually start in Earth Zero now, and yeah, that's what she is. She is very pissed off. We get some of her backstory here, but I just want to say right here, she's vomiting this water, which it's purple, and what she's doing here is she's drowning Amnesty Bay in Earth Zero. By the way, Amnesty Bay is where Aquaman is from, so that's going to be important, obviously, because every single one of these has a hero confronting the dark version of a Batman character of their version, like Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg. Cyborg, though, was not very lucky, so rest in peace to our man Cyborg, booyah, all that stuff. But here we are, we see the Drowned vomiting this water, and she drowns everything. She's walking now, these poor civilians in Amnesty Bay, it's just, they're really having a crappy day. And we get some backstory, so pretty much, she's called Bryce Wayne, which, get it? Bruce Wayne, Bryce Wayne. It's like a gender role. And on her Earth, there's pretty much every character's being gender swapped, like Aquaman as well, and we get mention of Atlanteans, but also Selina Kyle, who is now Sylvester Kyle. Pretty much, they of course were in a relationship together, but then Sylvester Kyle was murdered, and she blamed it on Metas, so Metas killed Sylvester Kyle, so now she's like taking vengeance by hunting down every Meta on her own Earth, that's what she did, hunting them all down, but that's when she was still normal, not this weird Pirates of the Caribbean sea monster thing. And yeah, that's pretty much what she's doing. She's very mad, she's got this entire boyfriend, like, no, all this stuff, take vengeance here. So there's some gap there which we'll fill later on, and then now she's here at Amnesty Bay, and then of course we come across with some resistance, which is Aquaman. Now, some people are confused by like the continuity of Dark Knight's Metal and all these events, because you get people saying, well, how is this storyline going on here, then the storyline going on there. It's really just got to figure it out with the details. Like, for example, we see Aquaman with a beard here, and long, beautiful hair, and really just got to be like, okay, I'm going to, like, connect the dots in my head. So we have Aquaman Rebirth storylines where he has no beard and just normal, like, short hair, as Aquaman does, but then he gets betrayed in one storyline, right, and I'm not going to get into that because, kind of spoilery for Aquaman, but he gets betrayed, and then he gets, he grows a beard and long hair. So then you can kind of pinpoint, because at the beginning of Dark Knight's Metal, issue 1, I think it's Dark Knight's Metal actually, the Prelude, the Prelude, Dark Days, the Forge, it might be all Dark Days, I think it's the Forge. You see Aquaman with a big beard, getting that big bush in there and the big, long, beautiful hair. So you can kind of pinpoint, okay, this place, after this current Aquaman story that's going on, so you kind of pinpoint that's just for Aquaman, so now you're like, okay, now I can understand how about the storyline's going on here, what's going on there, like the continuity, the timeline, all makes sense. Also, Doomsday Clock is taking place 12 months from now, by the way, so that's where that fits in. We're talking about Dark Knight's Metal. So you see Aquaman here, he's like, oh, like, I'm gonna, yeah, my man, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Of course, that's a bit of, a Dothraki Aquaman there. We're not doing Jason Momoa though. So he was like, alright, we're gonna take down foreign invader, of the multiverse. And yeah, this is like also back where they talk about like the dark multiverse, like surely here, like these are the stories from the dark multiverse that should never be. Witness the rise of the Dark Knight. And here we have Mira. They're pretty much gonna take down the Drowned, but they're gonna fail at it, so they attempted doing it. And the Drowned, we see her power was just like, geez, she does this to this like, sea creature. I'm not sure what it is, but Aquaman's very pissed. He's got his trident. She keeps on moving. She's like, wow, this, like, who is this thing? They're very confused here because this monster has these powers, like Mira's trying to get the water, but then she's moving all this stuff, and then she says, the water does not obey me. And then we see that the Drowned, the waters are her rules, the water, my rules, it's my water. She has this power with the water that she can just take it, and is stronger than Mira and Aquaman both here. And this is where she mentions, I've fought and killed many Atlanteans before. It's kind of that like traditional line. It's just like, I think it was in the Justice League trailer, it was like, I've killed lanterns before, or no lanterns, that was it. But yeah, it's just lines like that, which, oh, look how intimidating this villain is. But here we go back, it's a flashback to Earth 11. This is the female version of Aquaman, because everything's gender swapped here. So she's talking about how I took down every meta, but then, that's what she thought she did. But then suddenly, Aquaman came in. Is it Aquaman or is it Aquawoman, what they say here? I'm not sure, but pretty much, here she comes in, pretty much saying, look, I come in peace. And, Bryce Wayne isn't feeling this cause, even though she's Bryce Wayne and not Bruce Wayne, they're still the same person, So she's just like, no, I'm not taking any of this, I don't believe this. She suits up and is ready for an attack, and pretty much that's what happened, She attacks him. She was like, yes, my gut was right. The Atlanteans were ready to attack, so she's all prepared for this battle, and then kills Aquawoman. Jeez, there's blood everywhere in the sea. Very nice panel here, like you see just, Aquawoman just being stabbed. Like, it's really brutal. You see the trident go right through her, which is a nice imagery, seeing her own weapon, the iconic trident, just being, like, through, like, the own, like, chest, it's like, imagine how awesome that would look if it happened to Aquaman, like, he had his own trident, shoved into him. So it's really, awesome imagery here. And she's hoping, alright, I hope the Atlanteans get this message because, I killed their, I don't think it would be king, it would be queen, although queen's kind of like, so what would it be? I think it's king, so I killed their king, but they didn't get the message. They retaliated by drowning my city, my home, Gotham City. So she's very mad, so she's like, okay, you want to start a war? We'll start a goddamn war. So then she, like, pretty much got some surgery on herself to breathe in the war and all this, to become like them, and also use mutated hybrid DNA to alter her own DNA to give her accelerated healing so that, she doesn't lose in this fight and have control of the war. So she's pretty much like engineering on herself, giving some surgery here and there, mutating herself as well, just like all this crazy stuff, and engineered an army to fight at her side called the Dead Water, which we'll see in effect later on. And she wins, she has an entire army of the Dead Water, all this stuff. She's victorious, a drowned world. But then what happens is, so she lit a lamp to shine out across the darkness of the deep, a light to signal hope and victory. But then one day that light was gone, and she came up to investigate, and she saw the one who laughs. You don't trust anything, do you, Bryce? Nothing at all, and this world is done because of it. And what Bryce Wayne, or should I say the Drowned, basically says, because she's all mutated at this point, he was right, I never trust anything or anyone, but I trusted him. There was something in his voice, something familiar and reassuring. Of course, they're both, I suppose, Batman. But yeah, here it is, and the Batman who laughs, pretty much ends off saying, but it's not really your fault, it's the light, you see. The light up there. And of course, we get all these other Dark Knights. We see the Red Death, the Murder Machine, the Merciless, the Devastator, the Dawnbreaker. You know, really awesome panel, by the way. And this goes on how, like, you know, he's trying to recruit her and showed her all this, you know, all these dark worlds that were, you know, destined to die. You see the light up there, right? Up there? It mocks us all. It's an unsullied multiverse where all is bright and ascended. It's why we suffer. It's why nothing can ever be made right. That world is the perfection you dream of. You are its nightmare. Think of drowning. It's active and passive. Don't be the victim who drowns. Don't sink with the rest. Be active, rise up, reclaim the light, and be the one who does the drowning. And we cut back to Earth Zero. They're back, you know, fighting yet again. Of course, to them it's just like, yes, a second, but to us it's just like, okay, we've got the backstory, now let's get on with some action. We get Aquaman and Mira fighting, and it's just like, she summons all the, what was it called? The Dead Army? I kind of... Dead Water, yes. She summons all the dead water through her vomit, which is water as well, dead water. She gets vomit all up, Exorcist style. It's like, oh my god, how is she able to do this? It's like, my water, my rules. This is how I do it, because I'm Batman, or at least Aquaman drowned, Batman female version, yeah. But yeah, that's what she does. Her water, her rule, because she's Batman. And it's like, oh god, they're dead waters. Arthur, an army of dead waters. Oh, you know, pretty much it all sucks for them. And then, oh my god, this is the big moment here. We have, you know, the drowned just holding Mira, choking her, saying, you're not going anywhere. She's right there, just all gasping for, well, I wouldn't say air, they're in the water, so that's kind of weird. But no, choke holding her in the water. And then, like, Aquaman, she's like, Mira! It's like the sea changes, rises. This is the narration. It says, you can't stop it, merge with the dead water, succumbing to the inevitable. That's how I made my army through the transmuting powers of the sea, to turn the tide of loyalty, to drown opposition, to make even the most resistant fight for me. And there we go, we got, you know, Mira turned into creepy Pirates of the Caribbean sea monster and fighting Arthur. And Arthur's just like, no, what have you done to her? What have you done? And, you know, she's actually has a very interesting, you know, narration here. She's like, he's going to be dead in another second and the pain will cease. You know, seeing, you know, his love turn into this. And she's like, how fortunate, I wish I had died a few seconds after Sylvester. Kyle, you know, male version of Catwoman, so I could have been spared before she can finish off her own, you know, narration in her mind. Dr. Fate comes in. Hallelujah. Dr. Fate coming in, saving those, you know, important DC characters, except Cyborg, because, man, Cyborg really had it bad, like, the entire, like, all the Dark Knights. Not only was it just, like, you know, the Murder Machine, but the Devastator, everyone else just came up and ganged up on him. It's just like, wow, you have to feel sorry for Cyborg, you know. Maybe it's just, you know, Dr. Fate didn't find him that important, that he couldn't have just saved him before then. He's like, he's not important, or Aquaman, you're important, come here, you know. And yeah, that's what happens. But there she is, she's like, oh my god, magic, it steals the Aquaman from me, it cheats the death I've arranged, no. But don't worry, I'll find him again, wink wink. It says, and then we see the entire Amnesty Bay change into this dark thing, you know, that the drowned has changed into. We see, of course, the bat signal for the drowned in the sky and be like, yes, I now conquer this part. Yes, this is my signal that has been lighted. The whole world will be ours, you know, all this stuff. And it's to be continued next week in Batman the Merciless. So that's been the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I thought this was a really fun issue, you know, so far. All the Dark Knight, Nightmare Batman tie-ins have been really solid. Really like this one as well. Still my favourite is the Murder Machine though. But yeah, that is, you know, overall the end of our discussion and our dramatic reading of it. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and share. And if you come across the channel for the first time, why not subscribe? I'll be making more Dark Knight's Metal videos in the future. But anyway, it's been Magma signing out. Peace.